Hola chicos, bienvenido a Belgrade.
Why?
I'm not gonna do Spanish. I don't speak Spanish.
You serious?
Welcome to the BCL Final Four pre-game show or whatever we want to call it. It's finals day. It's time to see who the winner of the Basketball Champions League Season 8 is. I'm Igor Čurković, alongside me coach Aleksandar Dzikic and Dikon Lloyd-Smith, the only Tottenham Hotspur supporter here.
On North London Derby Day as well.
Yeah.
If you ever question how much I love this game, I'm missing that.
What a
game
great sacrifice.
Yeah, but I'm missing my marathon today.
Also true, yes.
It's a marathon in Belgrade, and I'm not running. I'm here with you, man.
You know, and we appreciate that sacrifice, Coach. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, we're off to a good start. I mean, I see that you're both in the mood, so let's switch it back to the semi-finals. You happy with the way the games went? I mean, they were pretty close, both of them.
Me first?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I thought two great semi-finals. The first one especially was one of the best semi-finals we've seen. Offensively as well, that's what people pay to watch. That's what they like to see. Two teams scoring 90 points. Maybe not so much for coaches enjoying that much offense.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
But yeah, you know, incredible.
It was competitive.
Competitive.
A lot of points, you know.
Nothing
nothing easy.
Kyle Guy makes nothing easy. Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah,
nothing
both
easy.
teams played hard.
Well, listen, you started with a lot of points, and people would be like, "I didn't watch the game." They were like, "I don't care today."
No.
Well, it wasn't like that.
Well, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the offensive side of the game between both teams. Maybe there was some things to look at for them both before today on defense, but they both. Kyle Guy, that was the best Final Four offensive performance in 8 years of the BCL. So
Yeah, we're still trying to get it right in the box score because there was one of the buckets that he made was credited to Marcelinho Huerta, so the final stats should have had Guy at 36, Marcelinho at 25.
Right.
So we're still trying to figure it out and update it and have it just for the sake of the records because 36 points is
A lot.
yes.
Yes, it is a lot. But just to make it super clear, Peristeri was there to play.
Yep.
They were there to play, man, from the start, honestly. And yeah, a lot of points, a lot of moves that were basically good defense versus better offense, simply like that.
yep.
And yeah, okay, the result at the end, but the game were like their own ups and downs. There are segments of very good basketball, then maybe some other situations. But what I really like, it's both semifinals. Very competitive, which
Yes.
of course, yes, it's Final Four. Come on, coach, it's just one game. Yeah, sure, but very competitive games, which I like, to be honest.
100%.
Because listen, with the trophy, being super close, I'm simply not one of those guys who will just sit and waiting for beautiful basketball, whatever that means. When people they say, "Oh, that was the ugly game, that was like this," so yeah, for me, it was competitive, a lot of great moments actually, which I guess it's a beautiful game. Actually, that's the best. How you said best performance in the finals by Guy.
Offensively, he
yeah.
now has the record. Yeah. Previously,
So-
it was a guy that
so
you
it-
might remember, T.J. Shorts.
So it means it means a lot, I guess.
We have a section called mentality and narrative, so you kind of, just to piggyback off what you said, you played a couple of finals last season with Jerusalem. You had the Israeli Cup final and then you had the BCL final. What's it like preparing for those two games? Are there any differences? Like this is a domestic competition and this is an international one. So did you sense it in your locker room?
Listen, as you both know, I'm not the guy who will promote, there's just one way. It's not just one way. You always have to adapt what you're trying to do to your personnel, to the situation. So basically, the way you are working during the season, I'm pretty sure that you should not, completely change something. And I'm not sure what kind of team that would be like a super high level of basketball that you like really in a short time you can change so many things that your opponent were like, wow, it happened before in the basketball history of European club competitions, but it's not for every team. It's not for most of the teams. So you are like, hey, this is what we do. This is option A. Okay, if it's not working, we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, like what we saw in both semifinals, obviously everybody came, prepared, trying to shut down the go-to plays from, all teams. And then, players stepping up, and how well you're playing in those scramble situations, offensively, defensively. And that's the part that you actually practice during the whole season. It should be like that. That's just my opinion.
I think the one question I have from the outside, if we're doing psychology or mentality and narrative, is Unicaja, because they're obviously the big favorite for everybody. We asked predictions before the Final Four. Almost everyone apart from Thad McFadden said Unicaja. Yesterday, it looked, at least for the first half, from a media perspective, like that pressure was counting. Like they looked slightly tense, slightly tight.
I don't even think it's the pressure from the expectations. It's because Coach Ibo Navarro, after the game, he said like a beautiful thing. We had to beat two teams. We had to beat UCAM Murcia and we had to beat Unicaja. So this was more of them kind of putting those ghosts of last season's Final Four to bed. Even this season's Copa del Rey, because they had a lot of expectation there and they failed in the first game. So
have they beat themselves is the question, or is it going to be the same today?
Listen, Murcia did their good part of not letting them feel comfortable.
Yes.
Sorry, but like they killed most of the flow that Unicaja is doing. Especially in the early offense phase, where everything looks nice. I guess that's what people say, beautiful basketball. Like they really made them work for everything. Yeah, okay, most of the times. I think Coach Sito said we controlled the game for 70% of the time.
75 even.
75, sorry. And I guess that's probably the truth. Yeah, they lost at the end, but it's not like they were not there.
Exactly, and he said that sometimes it's just a matter of luck, and yesterday's game was a matter of luck, because think about Howard sent Rose wide open layup to take the lead with less than 2 minutes to play. He misses it, and at the other end, earlier in the game, they struggle shooting from beyond the arc, and then Nihat Djedovic hits a banker from the top, which is...
It wasn't a night of 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Percentages in the first half were super low for both teams, and obviously Unicaja with 0 from 6. Yeah. And then I know while I was commentating the game, I told Jeff, I said, listen, two things: they will start making threes, and then we have to check how Murcia defense will react as a team, how they're gonna treat that, because playing the game, not expecting those type of teams that you're facing in semifinals of BCL
to react. They must react.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was like that.
Yep.
Actually, coming back to the quote about 75%, he's right, because in a way they did react with the zone. Maybe it was an emergency situation, but they did get control back again later in the game. And then I think in terms of swings, momentum swings, that game was the better of the two, because you had at least 3 momentum swings, whereas the first game, Peristeri had it, and then Tenerife just took control.
Yeah, actually, even especially in the first half, whoever calls a timeout had a run after it.
Yes.
One time, second time, third time. About the zone at the end, listen, at the end it was overload versus 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone, whatever call it as you like, on the side of the X5. And they put the best shooter, their best player, they put him in the best scenario.
Good coaching then.
And he made it.
Yeah.
And it was 71, 72 to 71, 75. And it was wow. It seems like they figure out versus the zone.
Yeah, probably felt like even a bigger advantage because of the missed layup and the 3-pointer that followed. Anyway, the section called What We Saw. Let's talk about defenses on both sides of the two finalists. What did we see defensively from Tenerife?
You first.
What did we see from Tenerife defensively? I think we saw Tenerife struggle defensively. We saw them start with a drop coverage on Ragland, and to be honest with you, he enjoyed it. He got downhill against Shermadini, backpedaling. He was picking the pass wherever he wanted to go. Even if you're dropping, so you try and make him a scorer, he was scoring and he was still finding his guys. And I think that was a struggle. I think throughout the game, I mean, we see they scored 90 points. I think Peristeri found a solution to the defense that Tenerife threw at them.
For example, it's interesting that Peristeri never tried to use some kind of pick pop plays or just opening the pick and roll on the top, maybe popping, swing it, and attack with the different angles and all of it. But it is what it is. At the end, it's easier for us to be smart after the game. I mean, smart, air quotes, and no, really. But
Igor is smart. I don't know about me, but
oh yeah, okay,
he's very smart.
So we cannot be all him, But again, a lot of contact, a lot of combat. Okay, and
I mean, this.
It's true what he said. They open up with a defense that is probably something that Ragland is. He was kind of happy with it. But I think it's a very important moment was the third foul of Mitro Long. He was hot, and him going to the bench helped them coming back into the game and everything.
It's interesting what you said about physicality because kind of the past few games that Unicaja played against Tenerife, it was a lot of physical battles. And it led to Tenerife shooting an absurd number of free throws. Their last two games, 33 and 29 free throws for Tenerife. So if they put up a fight, if they turn it into a bar fight, is it actually like an advantage for Tenerife because they know how to act physically?
Refs and a way of, controlling the game, that's his department. So let's hear.
I'm not a referee. No comment.
Sheesh.
I will say this: both games are difficult games to referee because of the contact. But I enjoy it that way. They let a lot go. They let the teams play in both games. I thought Peristeri super physical with Tenerife to start and managed to turn Huertas over a bit in the first half. And it took Tenerife a while to adjust to the physicality. I want to see that. I'm a fan. I'm a fanalist. I analyze and I'm a fan. So,
Oh God.
Is that a new word?
I just.
No, that's the second one versus predator. After predator,
Yeah,
producer
predator,
and editor.
producer,
He's
yeah.
a predator now. He's a fanalist.
I'm not a predator.
Oh my
but
God.
I am a
Okay,
fanalist. Yeah.
okay, good.
But I want to see that. I don't want to see like ticky-tacky rubbish. I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see teams in the semi-final
I'm in your
play
camp.
through contact. Maybe you disagree, coach.
No, I'm
You want to see more whistles?
Yes, a guy who had Speedy Smith, Levi Randolph, Kadeen Carrington, he's definitely going to say he's against your
I
kind
have
of
some
opinion.
other guys, man. Cornelius,
Cornelius,
I had, Zach. I had some guys. Come on.
Yeah.
They do understand the importance of the playing basketball on both ends. That's all.
Yeah.
Playing basketball on both ends, what did we see from Unicaja's defense yesterday?
Well, you know what? Again, it was. They were playing different versus different lineups of Murcia, which is credit for a coach. At the end, they won. Also, I mean, not too many easy things. To be honest, how they're gonna play today, we're gonna talk about it a little bit later. No surprises. They did their bread and butter, and again, we were talking about this. Let's repeat it one more time. That's what brought them here. They stick to that, and that's legit decision.
I thought the interesting thing for me with that is that Unicaja is the best defensive team in the BCL. Everybody speaks about that. But in the first half, Murcia was the best defensive team in the game. Their defense was the most authoritative. difficult
It
word.
was nothing easy for Malaga.
Yeah.
Nothing easy, especially the lineup with the Radabo on the floor.
Yeah.
Saint
So-
Rose, Anis. Come on.
But at the same time, Coach Navarro Ibon said after the game that Diaz, in the third quarter especially, woke up defensively or impacted the game defensively with more pressure on the ball, him and Perry, and he came up with a huge steal from an offensive rebound that looked like it was going the other end. He does what he does. He dives on the floor, and suddenly it's a layup this end, and that's Unica all over.
Yep. Two things that kind of caught my attention in that first half so the Spanish Liga Endesa is unique in Europe because of the rule with the turnover in the backcourt. So did you notice how many times the players are like when there's a turnover they're trying to get going?
Yeah.
And the other thing is Murcia shot like extremely good in the first half. So those are the two kind of triggers for Malaga to start running.
Yes.
To play against a defense that is not set yet. So in these circumstances where there is no rule in the out-of-bounds situations and when Murcia made a lot of shots, Unicaja's offense never got going in the first
But
half.
still, let's go back. Like Ibon said, we were playing them, we were playing us.
Yeah.
Do
exactly.
not underestimate what he was talking about. Like everybody's putting them on a number one on the list of, hey, who's going to win. Listen, sometimes it's not easy. And sometimes it's not easy for all the players, to have that extra, pressure and carrying it around.
Yep, I agree. Let's talk about offense. What did we see from Tenerife in their semifinal offensively?
Me again?
I mean, it starts with K, finishes with Isle Guy.
Yeah, it does start. Actually, no, it doesn't. It starts with Marcelinho and it finishes with Huertas.
Okay.
Or as always, right? But then because of him, then what do you do with Kyle Guy? And you clearly can't not do something about Kyle Guy because he broke the record for scoring in a Final Four, and just made everything look easy for him too. Actually, just not true. He started the game a little bit slowly.
I don't think he had a point in the first quarter.
And I think it was, I want to say it was Ejim diving. No, sorry, not. Sorry, I think it was Cook. Excuse me, diving on the floor, upping the physicality for a second, gets the ball, throws it to a steal with Kyle Guy, and he scores. So in this situation, Cook made his teammate better, gave him an easy score to get going, and then from there it was a masterclass really from the two of them.
Yep. Coach.
Yeah, but they were patient with him. He was, as you said, I agree with you. He needed some time, to spend on the floor to find a rhythm, and he did finally at the end.
There was actually a good story by Chus Vidoreta after the game. He said that they had their last practice in Tenerife before they took the flight over here, that Marcelinho and Kyle Guy were the worst two players in practice. And he pulled them aside. He told them, listen, guys, I'm going to need you to play 30-plus minutes in this game. I'm going to need you to score at least 60 points by yourself. Yeah. So.
Well, listen, as he said, defense tried to control Marcelinho Huertas. But you know what? For that team, it's almost like automatic, those press breakers with the super high pick and roll. And then all of a sudden you're in a Marcelinho's world. The decision to play with a little bit bigs, in a deep drop and high drop, and he was reading that, and all of a sudden, I guess the idea was to make him, okay, so we'll force you to be the guy who is finishing the plays, not the guy who initiates the plays, like making everybody happy around him. But we said that, before the game. He can score, obviously. Hey, listen, it's the same with the KP, with Perry.
Yeah.
They showed, Murcia showed some deep drop, high drop. Versus deep drop, he was going straight to those bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Straight to those bigs. He was shooting also the mid-range shots, but he has no fear. And then with Yath, it's a little bit different. I mean, it's not a secret. I think that I like the screening game for both teams because we have players who can do that, and maybe that will open up. Maybe that will open up, the both teams.
Coach, you actually said something very interesting in commentary.
I did.
Yeah, as unusual.
Oh,
You know.
yeah.
You
I think
said
he got lucky because it's like 80 minutes of work, so
Yeah.
he,
No, it's Jeff thing.
he
Yeah.
said a lot of
Jeff,
things, but one of them was good. So,
Oh,
yeah.
damn. Okay.
I'm
No,
excited.
so you said when there's so much pressure on the ball, which Murcia had, and they're making life so difficult for Perry, run an off-ball action, and you have shooters for an off-ball action, and they did that twice for Kalinowski, and he hit the shots. And did you think it broke the game, or like that's the sort of thing that removes some confidence for Murcia in what they're doing?
Well, listen, I'm a big believer in like so-called balance in offense. Like, okay, obviously both teams, if you can score in transition, you'll score in transition. Okay, a lot of drags, pick and rolls, then some flows, and it's fine. A lot of pick and roll because both teams, they have like pick and roll guys who can handle the ball, who can score. Like bigs can do a lot of things. But then both teams have, guys who can play also screening game.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like you have some parts of the game when you're playing, low post, not necessarily to score, just to have a help side action. I do agree with you saying that about Kalinowski. It's helping.
You said it.
I did.
Yeah.
So you agree with yourself.
Yeah.
The other thing that you said as well is Lima.
Yeah.
For Unicaja. When for the same situation, they threw the ball in the post to him, and he opened it up for Carter cutting.
Yeah, they're even running that play for like ages, and I personally like it a lot. Like everybody knows, okay, that's not like ISO low post play. It's not like for the guy who's handling the ball. It's for somebody else. Specifically, I think they were running that. When it was big, it was for Lima, I believe.
Yes.
And then guards, it was Jedovic.
Right.
And then they have help side action with a pick, with a back pick coming out, like screen to screener type of action, some cuts. But they are playing that so good. Like in one moment, if you cover everything, they start scrambling, and still they have patience and passers who are good enough and experienced enough not to panic, and it always helps. Or on the other end, you have Tenerife, famous Argentina play. Yesterday we saw it like a couple of times. They were running that. Let's use the term all the way, literally all the way, and then we saw it. They were scoring or creating open shots, out of that action. So, yeah, low post, different approach, but good results.
So maybe that's something we see today is that if Unicaja are struggling, they know they can go to the screening game for Kalinowski, or maybe even still throw it again in the post for Lima. For Tenerife, it's going to be about executing their stuff. If they're struggling, they'll go to Argentina or one of their actions that they've done for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And that's their way out, if you like.
And listen, and there's another thing that we have to mention, because again, but we were talking about it before semifinals. If you remember, we were talking about it's super important how teams are playing versus switching, pick and roll switching. And, Tenerife, they were pretty good. They didn't score every time. They had problems with this and that. But, some of the clips that we cut, you will see like, masterclass of Huertas, faking that he will score a pass to the corner. He simply froze the corner defender. Then he threw a lob on Guerra. It was just a foul. He didn't score. But that's like a masterclass. That's like your favorite sport, NFL, like quarterback pass. I mean, just faking one side to prepare the next play, and he did it. And after that, they were switching a lot with Shermadini as a 5. And Shermadini, I mean, come on, he's scoring for also so many years. Maybe it doesn't look, super, technically like 100% the way you want it.
Aesthetically pleasing. Let's use that.
Whatever, but listen, he's doing his job. He's putting the ball he's scoring. So
it's a super risky decision to switch onto Shermadini. Surely, like if with 1 to 5, it's a super risky decision to
listen.
Switch.
He's big. He's experienced. He's patient. He's unselfish.
Mm-hmm.
All those things, I mean, listen, it's pretty much the same on the other end. Like
Kravish?
There was a switch
Mhm.
and a Kravish situation. It was just like 6 seconds on the clock. He took the ball like it's 18 on the clock. Look over the shoulder. He saw the corner. I think Kuruks was a corner help side defender, and he saw Setkovsky's super sharp pass, boom, and 3-point open. So those are. I mean, both teams have, that type of players. That's for me. That's a high level thing.
We spoke about how smart Igor is. And he's
Sure.
he's super
Smartest
smart
in the room, man.
super smart guy. But we did say before the game that Osikowski was the one to watch for Unical. We spoke about Osikowski,
Yeah.
and the whole game he made a shot in the post. He made threes. He was crashing the glass. He probably like low key. He maybe won the game.
Would you let wow, that was great.
One more guy I want to talk about with Unicaja. You mentioned the thinking process in defending Huertas and defending Malaga. So it seems that there's a pattern when these two teams play over the last 8 games. They kind of want to make Kendrick Perry the one who scores, not the one who passes. So he's up to 15 points per game against Tenerife in his career. So maybe we could see him go off for 20 plus, but he never had more than 4 assists, I believe, against Tenerife. So this is one part of the game that could be crucial for Unicaja's offense.
How many games is that?
8.
And what's the result in those 8?
5-3 Unicaja.
So maybe that's a good thing for them. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yep.
Listen, what we know is for sure, he can play on all 3 levels. If that pick and roll, if the ball screen is set high, he can stop on a 3-point. Actually, he did it in the last game. That he was shooting mid-range, and mid-range he can make. And then I said it before, and I said it again. I'll say it again. He can go and attack the bodies, and he will go after those big guys. He will go for a body hunting. Is he going to score or not? He will put the pressure on the bigs. He will put the pressure on the bigs for sure. If you decide to cover him just 2-2, as I believe that what you're saying, like, hey, we're gonna guard like just 2-2 in that pick and roll situation. Okay, we'll see.
The thing for Perry is that second half yesterday he started scoring and things started clicking for him. So it's not like he's coming into the game as a scorer out of rhythm. He's coming in with last year forgotten, and this year he's in a good place. We heard him say that in the award ceremony, that now he's the way he's feeling is much better. And if you make him a scorer in this game, he might score. He came into the BCL as a scoring guard. He's become more of a team leader as his career has progressed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I coach him a little bit. Listen, the thing, no, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just saying, I coach him. That's what I said. Listen to this. This is also super important. With him, if he finds the rhythm, good luck.
Yeah.
But
because what Dickon said, like, when he made like 5 points in a row, it's not that big of a sample when you have like 200 points in a game, but check the reaction of the bench.
Yes.
Check the reaction of the coaches. Check the reaction of the fans. He's the one who gets them ignited. Like, maybe he's not a team captain, but he's like a leader. And
Emotional leader.
yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for him because, like, he's been through a lot in his career. He wasn't exactly like highly recruited that he came from USA and he was immediately like, oh, he's going to be like Endesa.
he had his own
Italy.
struggles.
Yeah.
And
he figured it out.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, he
Wow.
figured it out.
Very good guy.
I know. Yeah. Wild card section. So we call this the Pulianitis card because we said nothing about.
You want to mention everything?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, this is like a wild card guy who could be a hero from like not exactly the leading role for Tenerife. We took out Joan Sastre.
I mean, my memory is not great, but there was a game, round of 16 or quarterfinals, Sastre went off for Tenerife. Tell me, which one was it?
Thinking it's first game Tofash, I think it's 22.
Yeah, and he had 22.
Yeah.
And the thing with him is he can really shoot, and he's going to be on the floor because he plays defense at the 3, and they're going to need that. If if that's the guy that you have to leave open, if you're Unicaja, you run the gauntlet of him making shots, and then that can break things. So
He's got that smoothness to his game, like he never looks like he can be rushed.
No.
Like, everything he does is in the same exact pitch, same exact rhythm, and he's had that like since he played for Zaragoza, I believe. Like, I mean, he's been around for ages now, but he never takes like the lights of the stage. He never takes the leading roles, but somehow he's always there with teams that are winning. he's always there.
He's a pitching fork. Once you hit him, that note is staying
Yes.
the same
Constant.
for the rest of the game. And Unicaja needs to hope that they don't hit the note because
I'm expecting a lot of scrambling situation today.
right.
Yeah, I think the teams will shut down, go two options, meaning that then we will get into the scramble, and that those guys who have more individual quality will dominate the game. So on both ends, we have those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Unicaja has maybe three of them, and obviously, I mean, after 36, you have to count guy as that type of guy. But you're gonna see, there's a question for both of you. Let's say that opponent interrupt the offensive system of your team.
Mm.
Who do you think that will have better response, Tenerife or Malaga? Because both teams,
Mm-hmm.
they play in a system. They're very good. Their offense is very systematic.
Mm-hmm.
Disciplined. Roles are super clear. So let's say that if you succeed with interrupting that, who will answer better?
So this is we were talking about Will Thomas, and if you say that
As a low post guy.
if you say that Unica has disrupted and they need something to get them going, or I think we might see them throw the ball into Will Thomas, and he's, as we spoke about in the preview yesterday when he didn't play, so we will not re-say it all again, but you don't need him to have a touch early in the game. He can come in, plug in and play when you need him, and he's going to score.
You think that we're going to see some automatic last second switches?
That's why you're here to tell us.
No. But obviously, I mean, Tenerife showed us, we calm, we don't panic. But Malaga was also pretty good.
Mm.
So it's going to be interesting what the coaches will decide about those last second pick and rolls. Are they going to play the regular coverages, or they're going to be like automatic switches? Like,
Are we talking
so
under
many of
5
you guys-
seconds, under 3 seconds?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yeah.
Automatic switches. 1
Automatic
to 5.
switches. 1 through 5, whatever. On a ball screens. I'm talking about ball screens.
If they happen, I think they'll both handle it better than Peristeri did, because Peristeri got caught a lot of times with Ragland or Love on Shermadini. I don't think that's going to happen. If they switch, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, they have better mechanisms of switching late. So,
I was talking about the offense, to be honest.
okay. If they go and switch late in the offense, both of them know who has to have the ball in those situations. Guys who create something out of nothing and can shoot contested pull-ups like there's no tomorrow. So Kyle Guy for Tenerife and Tyson Carter for Unicaja. The fact that Carter...
Perry?
Sure. But the fact that Carter made all 3 of his 3-pointers in the semifinals could be crucial, because he has a history of showing up in big games and playing big games on a higher level than the rest of his season.
Yeah, and then there is another also interesting moment. I believe Malaga is the best defensive rebounding team, am I right? Controlling
Yes.
the offensive rebounding, meaning they have the highest percentage of defensive rebounds.
They led the league. Up until the Final Four, they were definitely the number 1 team in this defensive rebounding percentage.
Yeah, but Tenerife, they have some size.
Yep.
Especially if you switch, and then maybe Guerra is...
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of the pros and cons for any of those decisions. That's why it's interesting.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be a chess match, because these guys...
Hey, wait, we have a cliche. We should have a bell.
And he didn't pay a coffee. He didn't pay, man.
Who was it? Me? I was supposed to pay or him?
It doesn't matter, neither
Dude,
one
like,
of you.
Dickon, you had so many
It's
cliches.
a chess match. It's a chess match.
We don't have to pay. We don't have to pay
T-shirt.
for our lunches the rest of our lives. So many cliches you took out. Come on,
I'm
dude.
gonna make you a T-shirt. It's a chess match.
I should
It's a
do
chess
a
match.
marathon, man.
It's a marathon.
I should
It's
do
not
a
a sprint.
marathon.
Oh, it might be a
I'm
marathon.
wasting my time,
it
man.
might be a marathon, not a sprint. It's true. Yeah.
Speaking of marathons, we had the award ceremony yesterday, and long distance runner called Marcelinho Huertas claimed
Interesting
the
segue.
MVP.
Interesting
of the,
segue. That's good. I like it.
I'm
Who's
sorry.
the guy who's presenting the awards? Who's
I don't know. You know, he's up there talking.
Yeah, some Croat dude.
Some Croatian guy. Yeah.
okay?
Anyway, Marcelinho Huertas won the MVP of the season award, and he was
I'm waiting for your age is nothing.
It's
You're a
coming.
king of cliches for
It's
no,
today.
no,
coming.
no, you're wrong. It's age is just a number. That's
There
one.
you-
That's the one.
That's the one.
You're
Age is
winning
just-
today.
Oh yeah, man.
No, man.
I got.
We're not close.
I'm on autopilot, and I'm just like using all these phrases that I've learned over the years.
It's a Saturday night in Belgrade.
100%.
We see,
No,
we
no,
see the
100%.
results. We see the results over there.
By the river. Yeah.
It's actually the Sunday morning in Belgrade.
Well, let's call it afters, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Ah, lack of coffee.
It's okay. You're paying this time.
Okay, Marcelinho won the MVP of the season. He's also the first member of the star lineup, joined by Joe Ragland, Kendrick Perry, Austin Wiley of Tofaş Bursa, who's the only star lineup member not here, and David Kravish at the 5. I assume you have your own thoughts about it. Probably you would have Levi in there,
No,
Dean in there.
no, it was just for coaches and media representatives.
Coaches,
and
captains, media representatives.
I'm not a coach. I'm not a team representative. and
But we
I'm
also had fan votes, so you could have clicked on Levi and said, like, yeah, he should be there.
no comment on that one.
D, are you at least a little bit surprised that Marcelinho is the MVP?
No.
I mean, all these guys, they're in their spots. Come on, we're just having fun about it.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
you would probably have a different vibe. It really doesn't matter. He would probably have a different vibe.
Yeah.
And me too. So.
But-
I would go by formation, but it's okay. This is just me.
Sure. Yeah.
Huertas had to win. You know, he had to win. It would have been maybe interesting if Tenerife didn't win semi-final and Peristeri did, because then Ragland is probably thinking, "What about me?" But
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And for a half, it looked like Joe was on pace to win the MVP of the season because he was there in the head-to-head. But then the second half, Marcelino just
Okay,
went.
but come on. He pulled his team to
Yeah,
Final Four, so
no,
just-
this is when you go
Why
like
did you mention that at all? Just
yeah,
pull it
because
out. It's in the script.
it's in the script. Dickon wrote the script and he said, "Let's chat about
Improvise.
awards."
Come on, next.
Come on, Coach of the Year, Vasilis Panoulis.
I mean, yeah, for obvious reasons.
yeah, Peristeri shouldn't be here by rights, right? As a club that size, they shouldn't be here. So
No,
that's-
never say that. That's a cliche.
yeah, probably.
They shouldn't be here. They earned their. They were fighting for it. They were working
That's
the
a
whole
different-
season. Come
they
on.
definitely earned it, but
Yeah.
they, nobody apart from somebody before the season started predicted.
You sound like
So you know what I have to say.
like
this?
a GM/president before the season. Like we're expecting this, and this, and this.
You know,
At the same time, your team is not done yet, and your opponents don't have their rosters complete. Still, these are expectations.
all I can say is this, right?
Okay,
all
I will
can say
not
is this.
interrupt you
Yeah.
anymore.
Vasilis,
Just this time.
we're going to come to predictions in a bit, right? We're going to come to predictions in a bit, and Vasilis Spanoulis has achieved a lot in the game of basketball. Many things, right? Many things. But I predicted him to be Coach of the Year at the start of the season on our website, and I think his greatest
You need
achievement.
to do this.
His greatest achievement is making one of my predictions come true. Thank you.
Guys, you can join us.
Yes,
We're talking to crew.
Listen, if you get one right, you have to remind everybody.
Okay.
You know who I had for Coach of the Season last season?
Last season, this guy.
This guy. You disappointed me.
Yeah, I know. We just played finals.
Yeah, it was a horrible season for you.
Yeah, super bad. Man. That's why I'm, without a team.
Sure, but you are with a much nicer crew.
I really enjoy
Yeah.
you guys and me not being
Come
on
on.
the marathon.
Yeah.
Putting up with these two egos compared to 12-player egos is much easier, I guess. Or not. Anyway, Defensive Player of the Year, Howard St.-Rose. The fact that we had a lot of guys nominated or being like close to being here, and that's
Who was also on the list? I mean,
the two other finalists were Alberto Diaz
yeah.
and Austin Wiley, the league leader in blocks.
Well, okay, all three of them. I mean,
What I found funny was in the pre-event press conference when Alberto
You
Diaz...
want Paulo Spartolo as well.
Yes.
Also there.
When
Ludwig guy. Okay.
when Diaz was asked about the best defensive players, the first name he said was Howard St-Rose. I mean, this is just an incredible example of one guy sticking to it and doing his thing despite being in third German division, like at 23. Like, coach, you'd think he would be considered young at 23 in third division in Serbia or Croatia or...
I know here we decide super early. Come on, which I'm not saying.
At 17,
necessarily
at 17 you're done.
Listen, they were making jokes about me building the team this summer. Oh, you have 3 defensive players of the year. I mean, we were talking about Israeli competitions. We had Chris Johnson, Zusman, or Cornelius. I was like, yeah, maybe it will work. Just sit and watch.
Defense can be useful.
You know what? I don't want to even start about how you build team, this and that. Listen, everybody knows who are the best guys, and but most of the time for most of the teams, you cannot reach them simply. That's why you have what's that, like budgets, different budgets and everything. Like we all understand, like who would you have if you have a lot of money, but you have to spend what you have. That's I'm like a firm believer in that. And then putting pieces together and everything. But just to go back to the award for Defensive Player of the Year, obvious reasons, man. Like understanding that. Honestly, I like that award because like it gives you a little bit of showing respect to the playing on both ends.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it seems that we have a pattern here in the BCL over the past few years because you mentioned Polas Bartolo. We handed the award to St-Rose. There was also Papi Rivero, all of them Cuban. Like, this is something that I would have never expected to have Cuban guys dominating defensively in a top competition like this.
They must be teaching them something. I don't know how it works.
Maybe it's the boxing lessons they take
maybe.
to start their careers.
They are all quite aggressive defenders.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't want to meet them like 1-on-1 anywhere. 2-on-1, I wouldn't want to meet them. I'd just pass the ball and say like,
the thing with St-Rose too is he seems like he's bionic. Like he's like you spoke about. For 23 he was still coming through, but you see him walking today and he's walking like he didn't play a game yesterday. He's like, there's nothing in his legs. Like his legs are like 23 still.
This is the thing that on TV watching him, he looks like super skinny and like all. I don't know, but in person he looks super strong. Like he looks way more.
Talking about me?
Yes.
Thanks. No. Can I just go back a little bit? What's next on your script?
Predictions for the final.
No, we're gonna. Yeah, actually, we can start with that. He was talking about St-Rose walking like he didn't play.
Yeah.
Listen, X and O's, focus, discipline,
Yes.
moment, and everything, plus time management between 2 games.
Recovery, right?
Call it recovery. Super important. Super important. Why? Exactly the reasons, for the same reasons that we were, talking about at the start of this. Both semifinals, like real battles, physical battles, for 40 minutes. So it's going to be a big time factor in the finals today.
I agree. Predictions, I guess you guys don't want to get into it because you'll be like, no. But this will be the 5th all-Spanish final in a European competition. I'm going to try and think top of my head. So we had Manresa against Tenerife in Bilbao in 2022. In Eurocup in 2017, it was Unicaja against Valencia. There was a Korać Cup final between Barcelona and Estudiantes, and there was a ULEB Cup final between Juventud and Girona. So
Thank you for that, by the way. I could see how much effort that was. Thank you. Yeah.
I'll add this to my CV. Like I got applause from. So I love Spanish basketball and their finals. That's my
Clearly,
thing.
clearly.
All of them were really close. And
You're a promoter, man.
yeah, I should be like Liga Endesa ambassador or what. Anyway,
Now we understand why he introduced it in Spanish. He was already thinking about the next play for him.
see.
It's 3 steps ahead.
Always.
guy.
He's smartest guy.
Yeah. It wasn't just a chess game.
Yeah.
Since they know each other so well, my only prediction is that we could go to overtime. Like, I'd be
as
actually-
a fan, you won that.
Yeah.
actually, I'd be surprised if we don't go to overtime. I'd be
Wow.
surprised if somebody wins this by more than 3 points.
Also an outstanding segue. That was a long story to get to that to overtime. That was, yeah.
Why would you do that? He's.
I didn't put.
There's nothing
I
here.
didn't put that in the script. No, that was
There's
not in the
nothing
script.
here.
Guys, in this moment,
He's done-
everybody's
he's-
stopping
he's-
watching
he's-
this.
it's-
Now listen, in this moment, everybody is stopping watching
Just
this.
as well as the end of the show. Yeah, that's fine.
Those 7, person who watching this, they're stopping right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least they enjoyed it so far.
Yeah.
Any predictions for the final, guys?
Your media representative is not me. So
Okay. All right. I mean,
no comment.
I have the courage to make a prediction here. Yeah.
Are we gonna hear it before the North London derby or?
Yeah, true. Yeah. I think, based on the first 2 semi-finals, if Tenerife can't concede less than 90 points, if they can't defend, you're not going to beat Unicaja. So I think Unicaja will win, based on defense.
First game of the season, Unicaja way over 90 easily. So you're on point there. But
Wow, said something nice to me too.
yeah, this is
I
marked down.
cannot believe.
So, Coach, am I wrong?
No comments about that.
No?
No. Who's the MVP of the finals? Oppa.
Tyson Carter.
Too soon. Unicaja will win.
I just predicted Unicaja to win, so I have to go Unicaja. So.
Okay.
Go safe, come on.
Well, give us 50-50 for
Guy.
the...
I mean, if Tenerife win, probably Guy.
Yeah. So are you predicting Tenerife to win?
I don't know, probably.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We have 1-1. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I have to because you went to Unicaja, so I have to be like the dark sheep. And all the guys that we asked on social media, the players and the ex-MVPs, all of them went to Unicaja, other than Tad McFadden. So just to give it some diversity, I'm going to say Tenerife and Kyle Guy wins the MVP.
Solid.
Okay. Coach, you're still out of it? Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Final thoughts, guys. You enjoyed the Final Four?
Yeah, actually, it's walking distance from the home. So it's good.
Yeah, we'll
Listen, I figure out the way to be sort of participant 2 years in a row. So, wow.
yeah.
Last year I was coaching. This year I'm like sitting next to the line.
But this is
I
better.
think
commentating.
This is better for your health. I mean,
Lance
this is
and-
not stressful at all compared to coaching.
Actually,
BCL ambassador now, I think.
listen, actually, it wasn't that easy, man. Working with Jeff, 2
Oh.
games in a row.
Oh yeah.
You understand
Yeah,
that?
I forgot.
I mean, I do understand. I mean, people watching this, they, it's hard for them, to understand that, but it's not easy.
Yeah, it's
You,
not.
you agree?
Not a
We're going
commentary.
to find out, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, bro.
He's doing the third place game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
He
heard it
helped me.
first.
He helped me today.
Yeah, we're giving you some, like time off to focus mentally on the final and come at your best game. Like you have to be 120%
Hey,
ready.
ding, ding,
You have to give it all, give it your all.
He's the new
Knees
kid.
dirty, get your knees dirty, get your elbows out and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, all the cliches. I want to hear
Roll your
them
sleeves
all
up.
from tip off to final buzzer.
Listen, for 2 nights I didn't sleep because of him. I earned that rest. And he knows it.
We appreciate you not sleeping, coach.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure talking to both of you guys. I wish that we could do this more often, and also it would probably be a better idea for people just to join us in the cafe that we found you at. So
Yeah, actually, that would be.
so if you're in Belgrade, just walk around the arena. You'll probably find Coach Dzikic somewhere, and in a specific cafe, drinking specific sorts of coffee and stuff.
With you paying because of the cliches.
Dude, you have to pay like lunches for the rest of the year until the next Final Four.
Would you please, guys, just wrap it up?
Yes.
The TV guys, just wrap it up.
Want me to wrap it up? You can wrap it up.
No, you wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for watching this. Enjoy the final, and hopefully we'll see you next season in something of a similar format to this one. It's been a pleasure.